Welcome to my presentation. I will start with the introduction. Because of her immense contribution to the field, Marina Abramovic is regarded as the grandmother of performance art. She was born into a strict military family in Belgrade, Yugoslavia, in 1946, and she had to grow up under the communist regime, Rizzoli et al. 2022. She pushed her endurance and built a strong relationship between the art and the audience. Using her body as the canvas, she often endured a lot of intense personal and collective exploration of the themes of vulnerability and transformation. Her work incorporated spirituality and ritualistic elements in order to create a sense of connection and transcendence. The surroundings, and especially the experiences from growing up in a community, shaped her artistic approach, where she sought to explore the limits of the human body and tried to build a connection with her audience. Let's move to. Marina Abramovic emerged in the 1970s as part of the group that challenged traditional art forms. Performance art was a genre that sought to stop the commodification of conventional media, including paintings and sculptures, Burello, 2023. This was the period when society faced a lot of political, social, and economic changes. Thus, the changes led to the emergence of movements like human rights and the feminist movement. The performance art played the role of being in the capacity of addressing the issues that were being raised in the movement and parts of the significant social vices that were experienced at the time. In Eastern Europe, Marina Abramovic began her performance art career, and the political climate seemed to be one of the significant changes experienced. Artists took advantage of the communist regime and used the opportunity to critique the government while simultaneously seeking ways to explore their freedom. Modern-day performance artists have also adopted this in calling out social vices and injustices in society. I believe some of her performances from the time can be seen as responding to social-political dynamics. She used her body to question those in authority and power and explored ways to build human endurance. These performances align with social-cultural factors, making them easy to impact the audience. Her performances were filled with physical intensity and emotional endurance, which also made them stand out. The following are some of her popular works. Rhythm Zero, 1974. This was one of her landmark performances where she placed around 72 objects, which her audience could use on her body as much as they wished. Filiowicz, 2023. The objects ranged from light feathers to other items that could have potentially been harmful, including loaded guns and knives. According to feminist theory, it was based on challenging gender roles and exploring the female body as a site of power and endurance. Rizwan, 2024. Her approach of using highly harmful objects and enduring all of them challenged the notion that women can be pretty fragile. It also showed that females have as much power and endurance as men. The various uses of less harmful and potentially harmful objects demonstrated trust and vulnerability, revealing the darker side of human behavior. I find the use of diverse objects indicative of how aggressive humans can become given certain circumstances, and how they can quickly turn violent when given the chance, especially considering that feminists were fighting against female oppression as well. In this performance, she lies inside a burning star, but loses consciousness when the flames consume the wood. This is because of the lack of oxygen supply to her body, and the audience rescues her. The concept of this performance lies in the endurance art, where she indeed sought to learn just how much pain the body can take. I believe that this thoroughly explored much pain and, considering the intense political climate and the audience's ability to rescue her, was a show of the connection she had with her audience, which can also be reflected in society. This is impactful in building a more supportive community and responding to current issues in society. Having watched some of her interviews, she said that the motivation behind her work came from the impacts on her life. She only did some of the things she did, especially when she felt afraid, and this was the whole thing. This shows the innovative idea of going beyond human limits to inspire and challenge the audience's expectations and perceptions, which makes it stand out from the rest. According to Hans-Ulrich Obrist, renowned critic and curator, she was indeed a pioneer in the performance, and her work transcends beyond the boundaries that govern the traditional art forms. Grandison, 2024. I find this to be a positive thing about her, even though other people have come to terms with it as much more harmful to her body. It is concerning, and I tend to think she might have gone further on her journey. The work shows the human notion of challenging endurance and the ability to inspire the community and the audience. Her legacy has transcended beyond the realms of just arts. It has sparked many conversations regarding the nature of the human body, consciousness, and the connection we have as human beings. It has also had a lot of impacts on the contemporary visual culture in 2024, especially on how women have been viewed in the past, as it now shows the resilience in her bodies. It has also influenced how people see society differently, especially human behavior, and how much the human body can withstand a lot of pressure when pushed to the limits.